Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your Virgo Tarot video forecast for the week of April 22nd through the 28th. I have already cleared the cards for the reading. Oops. So sorry. So I have already cleared the cards for the reading, and what we're going to be doing next is putting down cards to see what comes up for you for main themes for the week. This is a general reading, and so not everything that I see will apply to every single Virgo who watches this video. Okay, so let's see what we've got coming up. Virgos, 22nd through the 28th, main themes. Okay, 22nd through the 28th, Virgos. What I see here, the very first thing talks to me about your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. And what I'm seeing is that the environment that you are in, whether it's home, school, etc., I'm seeing that this is an environment that you went into sort of as a leap of faith, not knowing how things would really work out. And I'm seeing you continuing on in this environment. It seems like things must be going decently smoothly because you are continuing in the same fashion that you began. Now, as far as subconscious leanings, Virgos, what we have showing up has to do with either having some kind of like romantic interaction with somebody. Either you have had that interaction and your subconscious is really turning that over, or you are wanting to and your subconscious is really working out, how can I make this happen? Now, for others of you, this isn't going to be so much about romantic action with somebody else as much as it's going to be about just pampering and taking care of and showing love to yourself. So for some of you, you may be working out, what can I do that would make me feel really good about me? So that's where your subconscious is on one of those two topics, possibly even both of them for some of you, Virgo. Next thing we're looking at is learning style and communication style, at least the main themes of them through this particular week. So learning style, what I'm seeing is that you guys are picking up lots of new information, and it's things that you are understanding and grasping and using in everyday life very quickly. And communication style, I feel like a lot of the communication that you're doing this week is communication that you are preparing for. So you may be giving presentations or teaching classes, excuse me, but one way or the other, you're thinking about the things that you say before you actually say them. Next thing that we're looking at, Virgo talks to me about work. And so I have two types of work that come up for me under that name. So work is number one, it's that thing that we do to make a living or to feel productive in the community if we're not actually technically making a living at our work. And then the other thing that comes up for me under the word work is that inner work that we do on ourselves to improve our own character. So first we're going to look at outer work. It does look like there's something that is not making you feel very happy going on with your outer work. This could be something like you didn't get a promotion, or possibly a job fell through, or a contract, but it doesn't have to be that big of a deal either. This can also be something like, you thought you were going to be able to move forward on a project, and then it turns out that the client has decided that they're not in a position to do this project. So you put in some work and some effort and you're not getting to move forward with it. Could be something as little as that. Could also be something like, wherever you work, maybe somebody is retiring that's near and dear to your heart. So it could be something like that as well. So some kind of heartache type of situation showing up at work. Doesn't have to be a big deal, but definitely shows up here. And once again, reminder, general reading. Not everything I see applies to every single Virgo. Hello there, Ricky. Hello there, Tammy. BMB. Oh, you're a Virgo? Cool, cool, Ricky. So, guys, I answer one question at the end of the weeklies, but you have to pop that question into the chat while I'm still going through the spread for the general if you want a question answered. So that looks at outer work. Let's look at inner work. Inner work seems to be actually really tied to outer work. It has to do with that heartache, heartbreak type situation coming up at work, and you are learning to process it. You're also learning, why is this really affecting me the way it is? For some of you, you're going to be surprised that it affects you so strongly. So, really working through those sad feelings and getting to the bottom of them, processing them, and releasing them is the inner work. Oh, you're a Virgo rising. Gotcha. Alrighty, so let's look next at the theme for how your personality is growing or expanding during this week, Virgos. What we actually have coming up is that there are some disagreements coming up on the table with other people, and you are learning how to cope with those disagreements and how to move forward in spite of them. Okay. The next thing that we have going on talks to me about those things that you stand for. So, Virgos, you have somebody in your life who may be an authority figure of some type, but they're also somebody who, and they're not really acting in a good way. They're not necessarily telling the truth. They're being manipulative. They're a little bit corrupt. They basically want everything to go well for them and not for, they're not too concerned about how well things go for other people or the sacrifices that other people might have to make things go well for them. So you're standing up for this person. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if this is like your children's father and you feel like you kind of should, or what's going on, why you're standing up for this person, because their behavior is showing up as pretty much abominable. But it looks like you are. Looks like you are. Looks like somebody's complaining to you about this person and you're standing up for them. Okay. Next thing we have coming up talks to me about how other people perceive you. They see you as somebody who just wants peace, kind of even peace at all costs. And maybe this explains why you're standing up for this person. Rather than have an argument or an all-out blowout, just let this person do their thing and don't make a big deal about it. So you're coming up, you're being viewed by other people as somebody who just wants peace at all costs. Now, the next thing we're looking at talks to me about lessons or experiences for the week. So our main theme here, Virgos, has to do with you guys having a pity party. Please don't do that. You don't have to have a pity party. So please, no pity parties, Virgo. Go ahead and, try to look at the positive and overlook the negative. But the way the energy is sitting right now, as I'm reading this, it looks a lot more likely that you're going to go ahead and let yourself sink into that pity party. And, I got to admit, pity parties always feel very justified. We always feel like, well, I didn't deserve that, so if I feel a little sorry for myself, so what? That type of thing, everybody would know that that's not acceptable for someone to treat me like that. What's going on with this person? They always feel um, earned. Pity parties always feel earned. The thing about a pity party is, though, it never makes you feel better. It just makes you feel worse. So if you notice yourself going into pity party mode, try to cut that off at the pass if you can. Khalid, hello, hello. Nice to see you too, my dear. As usual, I'm going to be answering one question at the end of this weekly. So if you have a question, type it in there before I get done going through the spread for our Virgos. And then I'll let Spirit help me decide which question is the best one for me to answer. Let's look next at Virgos. As you guys are falling into pity party mode, there are some things happening. Okay, first of all, we've got separation from somebody that's important to you. Comes in as you're in pity party mode. You may be feeling like, well, that person shouldn't have treated me like that, so I'm just going to get away from them. That could very easily be going on here in pity party mode. Or the other thing, like when we're having a pity party, other people don't really want to be around that, especially if they are the reason we're having the pity party and we're focusing on their negatives. Then that person could decide to walk off just as easily. The other thing that's going on as we've got pity party mode happening, Virgos, is I do see you having this is basically my, okay, I'm having a fit card. This is somebody that really pouring out their emotions in a negative, not so controlled type of way. So Virgos, I really think that if you stay in the pity party mode, this causes you to go into this place where you just have a fit. And I think that fit is with the person that you're feeling separated from. Okay. And ultimately, what we have is a card that talks about lack of security, that this whole thing brings on a real lack of security. So if you're splitting up from somebody that, you felt pretty secure with, that would explain that. If you have financial arrangements with this person and now those arrangements are null and void, that would explain that lack of security as well. The real key here, guys, because free will changes everything, the real key, I think, to this week, to making it go better than what I'm seeing on the table, because what I'm seeing here, ugh, I would not want this week. The real key is to keep yourself out of that pity party mode, because the pity party is what's triggering all of this separation, having a fit, not feeling secure. So if you can keep yourself out of pity party mode, and I know that's a challenge, especially if you're dealing with somebody like we saw who you're defending. This is basically a narcissistic personality that you're defending, you're sticking up for, and you're expanding, and that you're having fights. You're having fights with somebody. This is really a tough week, you know. And also in your subconscious, you're looking at this whole overall picture. I think in your subconscious, you're looking at, how can I take better care of myself? How can I find some happiness for me? Maybe you're even trying to figure out, if this narcissistic personality is somebody that, that's a romantic interest or romantic partner to you. Maybe you're even trying to figure out, how can we do something romantic and get things back on track in a positive manner here? So you've really got your hands full from what I'm seeing here. But the key is, stay out of pity party mode if you can, because if you can stay out of pity party mode, then you can change the direction of how things go. But if you go into pity party mode, you've really got it's like it's magnifying the problems that you have. So, beautiful thing about getting readings like this ahead of time is you have free will and you can change the outcome. I would love to see you guys change the outcome on this. This looks like a really stressful week, but it looks like if you can change the pity party part of that, you can change how it all pans out towards the end of the week. So good luck with that for you Virgos. And then let's see what kind of questions I have here. Ms. Synchronicity, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Ms. Synchronicity, that's going to be different for different Virgos because not all of you were born at exactly the same time. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. How is the meeting going to go on Friday? Is what Ricky Jorgensen wants to know. Let's take a peek. Meeting on Friday for Ricky. First of all, I think your meeting is going to start late because right out the bat, we have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords talks about taking a break. So maybe you get there and this lady or man, whoever you're meeting with, has the time of the meeting down wrong and they're on a break. All right. I do see some kind of meeting coming up with somebody who has a decent amount of assets. They do have the ability to help you. This looks like it is some kind of legal or binding meeting, or there is some kind of contract that would be offered or extended, or some kind of paperwork that needs to be taken care of. It could be actually like a court hearing. Feels to me more like there's paperwork offered here than anything else. We've got the Four of Cups coming up for you in reverse. This is you focusing on the positives, focusing on moving forward, focusing on solutions during this meeting. And this is the end of this meeting, the Chariot, which is victory, which means you're going to get whatever you want from this meeting. It is going to involve coordinating with that other person that you're meeting with, or maybe even other people, but you are going to get what you want out of it. It's going to take a little bit of coordination and thought processes, but you can do it. It's going to be a successful meeting. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Ms. Ricky. I hope you find that helpful. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate the thumbs up. I don't know who gave that to me, but thank you very much. That's awesome. And I will talk to you guys the next week. Y'all have a fantastic week. Peace out.